71% of Americans are afraid that AI is going to take their job. And it's not exactly a mystery why. We've been bombarded by the news outlets with doom predictions for years now. Ever since ChatGPT came out, we've been talking about job loss, job loss, job loss. And so it's no wonder why people are nervous. Yet, I want to talk about something in this podcast that show that a lot of people, a minority of people, a group of select people are actually standing in defiance of that, and they're not worried at all. So in this episode, I want to cover 3 different reasons why a bunch of people are having confidence despite all the headlines and what they're doing about it to actually feel good about the future. So let's break it down. In this episode of the AI Driven Marketer, you were talking to Dan Sanchez, myself, and Travis Sanchez, my co-host.
Come on, happy to be here.
This is the Bot Bros segment where we uncover the help from the hype in order to help marketers learn more about what's actually useful out there in the AI news cycles. So, Trav, let's break it down today. That report came from Reuters out of a poll of about 4,000, 5,000 people. I went and checked and did the due diligence to make sure it was an actual stat, because you know how many stats are made up. And it was true. Like, this is a reputable news source, polled thousands of people, and 71% of Americans said they were worried about AI taking a lot of jobs in the future. Wow. I want to ask you, have you seen that nervousness around people you know?
I haven't seen a nervousness, but I've definitely seen a defiance from blue-collar workers, most of all, who, I don't know if that defiance is a nervousness that AI will start taking their jobs if, I don't know, different skilled robots are actually able to outperform those labor tasks. But my guess is the people that they were calling, a lot of them were in their golden years, their better quarter of life. And
because you're going to get ripped on in the comments for saying
if I say boomers again, in their golden years. And as I feel about how Gen Z's language or Gen Y is so complicated and changing so quickly, and I can't keep up with all of the vocabulary, it's the same way that I think people feel about AI. It's like, man, they just figured out the internet. They just figured out social media. I don't want to figure out a new technology. And it is quite advanced. So it would make some people nervous.
I don't know. I think Gen Z is particularly a fairly anxious generation, so I could see them being nervous about it, especially if you're in college right now and worried about getting a job. Lots of news reports about young grads not being able to get jobs because of all the AI automation and stuff going on. So I don't know. I'm in a bubble, so it's hard for me to tell. When I talk to people outside of my bubble, there's kind of a underlying anxiety. I don't know if they're anxious about jobs, but there's an anxiety about, like, I don't know what's going on. Something big's going on. Yeah. It seems kind of dark, but I don't really think about it that often. But when I do, I can tell something's going on, and I'm not in it.
I'm surprised it's so high. I mean, what was it? 71%?
71%.
That's really high. Did you break down, because I just opened the report to see they voted on 4 different areas of where they think AI is going to be, they have concerns about. There's like political chaos, too many people will lose jobs, replacement. Oh, I see. You pulled a job one. But then there's other things like increased electricity consumption, replacement for in-person relationships. I know you're sticking to the job loss one, but I thought that the relationship one was also pretty high, 66%, which maybe that's true. We've seen a lot of buzz around people getting emotionally attached.
I'm personally more concerned about relationship issues caused by AI than I am about job loss when it comes to AI. I've already started to see some of the relational issues. That's a whole nother news topic we could jump into, because some new things have come up around that. Can I tell you, I've even thought about starting another podcast about AI called Artificial Attraction, just to talk about that topic.
Wow.
But I'm like, no, I don't have enough time for another podcast. But I'd really like to just talk about psychology, relationships, and AI and how it's impacting it. But somebody needs to start that show. I will be your first sub. That would be really fun, provided you're taking the line that this is bad for us, not good for us. If you take the this is good for us, then I'm unsubscribed. I won't even subscribe to that show. But moving on, in Microsoft released some of the news that's causing people to be nervous. They released this like 40 most at-risk jobs. I saw this
Yikes.
going viral on X.
Yikes.
And of course, in the mix of it, like of these 40 occupations that are most at risk, we have proofreaders and copy marketers, as in
Oh.
copywriters. And that's not really like news. If you're in marketing and you're a copywriter and you didn't know AI was coming for you, like where have you been? Right? So like obviously people who write for a living, especially copywriting, and like AI has been doing a lot of that work for a lot of
Uh-huh.
people now. But web developers are in there, data scientists, like there's a bunch of different things in here that are you're like, okay, wow, public relations specialist, that's another job title in there. Business teachers, post-secondary. So it's kind of like a lot of these things fall or hit around marketing or directly impact marketing
Mhm.
in a way, like writers and authors, which, covers some marketers. And then, of course, I think the one that's kind of ancillary next to it is sales representative representatives of service. So essentially service reps.
Right.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, I even just the last episode I did was about how you can replace your frontline sales reps for inbound calls with an AI agent. Don't need them anymore. Don't need the clerk answering the phone call for a chiropractor anymore because AI can take in, book the meeting, answer questions, follow up, and do all kinds of things now. Like now, it's not future tech; it's now tech. So it kind of makes sense, but will that actually lead to more job loss? I don't know.
All right. So the positive spin on this is how many times I've heard other individuals talk about how many jobs AI will actually create. Just like people thought when the internet was coming out, there would be an incredible loss of jobs. But how do we know? Most of us know that it actually created more jobs. It didn't remove away work hours. It just increased work hours because the productivity could go up. So, though there's a list of jobs that might be lost, there's also going to be an increase.
New jobs.
However, I also heard a spin that was like more people will not understand how to create prompts to get AI to do what it needs to do. Like it will be more difficult understanding how to be proficient enough at prompting to do efficient work to actually be paid using AI. And I was like, that's a hot take.
Man,
And you want to know who said it?
who said it?
I have no idea. I was scrolling on social media.
Thanks, bro, for leading me on. So before we jump to the next segment of the poll, which has the shocking thing that I did a poll and asked my audience, you guys, if you were worried about AI replacing your job, and I think you'll be shocked by the turnaround of it. But before we get to it, I want to highlight today's sponsor, which of course is High Level, the main AI app that when people ask me like, what's your main AI tool? What's your recommended tools? It's always ChatGPT and then followed shortly after High Level. Why? Because it has all the tools I need from CRM, marketing automation, funnel builder, website builder, to even host my WordPress site, and has all the tools, all the basic marketing tools that you'd pay for individually under one roof. It's like HubSpot, except costs like a fraction of HubSpot and actually does more than HubSpot. But I love it because it has all the AI tools baked into it. So I can actually automate my AI workflows. I got a lot of episodes on how I've done that, even this last episode on the phone call agent. But if you want to check it out, you get a 30-day free trial if you subscribe. Try it out with me. And I actually give away all my best playbooks at aiautomationvault.com.
Dang.
And you can unlock all the playbooks, all the workflows so that you don't have to rebuild them. I've already built them for you. Give it a shot. Get the workflows at aiautomationvault.com. Get your 30-day free trial. And tell me about it later. Did you try it? Did you not? Did you not like it? Did you like it? Let me know. So moving on to the poll. I asked people and I just put out, how worried are you about AI replacing your job? And it flipped from the 71% that they were worried. The audience on LinkedIn said 54% said not worried. 21% said a little worried. 15% said somewhat worried. And 10% said very worried. So it's almost like a total flip flop. And actually aligns when I talked to a bunch of you. I just put out my calendar probably a few months ago, and I met with a bunch of you in like face to face here over Zoom calls. And that's kind of aligns with what people said. Almost everyone I talked to, I asked the question like, how do you feel about the future of AI? And they're like, oh, I'm so excited. They were is mostly optimistic. Some of them were optimistic with just a little bit of nervousness. So it kind of lines up with the poll. That's how people feel. And it got me to wondering why such a stark contrast. So
Uh,
Trav, where are
er,
you at? Are you like optimism plus a little nervousness? Like, or are you 50-50? Where are you at?
okay, so I'm in the place of I feel confident in my skills as a manager, as a connector, as a relational leader, which I have a hard time believing AI will take that away because oh man, this is where it gets my mind a little bit crazy, and I'm a verbal processor. So when I start talking about using AI for my own emotional processing with some hard things with my spouse, with some past coworkers, and it makes me emotionally feel seen. I'm not attaching emotions to it specifically, but it's helped me process emotions. I'm like, what step away are we from having managers that are AI that actually encourage, are clear, the tasks are followed up with, there's accountability, and the person who gets encouragement from an I don't know if it's a screen, if it's a robot, whatever, actually is like, man, I love reporting to this guy. It makes me feel so then I don't know, it makes me question my my I'm safe because I'm good with people thought. You know what I mean?
I think I think you are safe because there's a big difference. Even though AI is can be extremely empathetic, or it can at least fake empathy better than a lot of humans do, for sure. There's just something different about humans because humans have core values.
Right.
AI does not. AI has whatever core values you feed it
Okay,
at the
but
time.
how many humans don't have core values either?
Yeah. So, but that's not their that's their problem. That's not your problem. You have a set of values that people can trust when things get hard that won't change. That makes a big difference.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about when AI starts getting rights and they're allowed to like own property and
God
you roll
forbid.
your eyes. You roll your eyes. I've seen too many movies.
Oh, bro, that's why I did the whole episode with Kenny Ortiz to talk about some of these issues from a theological perspective, which if you haven't listened to that episode, I'll put it in the show notes. But I talked about like the theology of dealing with
Just
some of these AI topics. I will probably
totally.
have more episodes like that in the future because AI, as it gets smarter, it's going to be a whole can of worms and weird
Just
philosophical,
just from an
theological issues we'll have to deal
just
with.
from an ethical
Yeah,
perspective, and people are
100%.
fighting for AI rights, you know. Anyways, I'm not too nervous in the short come. I'm more excited. I have about 90% excitement, 10%
Okay.
nervousness. So I would probably put myself in the not worried category because I'm so filled with positivity of what the next 5, 10 years are going to look like.
So let's talk about why people have confidence. Like why does the audience that is listening to this show and following me on LinkedIn not worried at all?
Because they're early
Or
adapters.
just a little
They're
bit worried.
rock stars. They've got everything going for them. Growth mindset up and to the right. You know what I mean?
Probably. So this is hypothetical. I didn't actually ask the audience, though they did some comments and some talk about why. So this is my hypothesis about why the audience, you guys listening now, are less likely to put worried and more likely to put not worried or just maybe a little bit nervous. And I think mostly it's just big part of it's just a different mindset.
Right.
You can break it down. The part that makes me just a little bit nervous is just the uncertainty of the future. We don't know if there's going to be a lot of job loss or it's going to be job explosion. It's probably be somewhere in between. We don't know, but that uncertainty always makes people a little nervous. And the thing that I think through over and over again that gives me a lot of confidence. I'm like, okay, well, let's play this out. Both scenarios. If we lose a lot of jobs, let's say like Great Depression level, 20%, 30%. Well, it's 30% of people still have a job. Can I be good enough that I'm part of that 70%? Heck yeah, I'm going to work my butt off and I can be better than 30% of people. Can you? I don't know. At most people, if you ask people if they're smarter than the average person, so they're over the 50%, it's like almost everybody thinks they're smarter than the average person, which statistically is impossible, right?
Yes. And most people think that they could kill a lion with their bare hands. So, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So the question is, are you putting in the work and doing the due diligence to learn and stay on top of this stuff so that you can be better than that than the 30 bottom percent.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to do. It's even why I have this show, is to master AI, so I can, if worst case scenario we have that situation, I make it in the top 70%, right?
Right.
But even that's just hypothetical. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the total opposite way, and we end up with way more jobs. Than if you're learning AI and taking advantage of it now and working hard for the worst case scenario, then you'll be way more better set up for the best case scenario.
Right.
So having an attitude of like, yeah, it's going to work out for me. I don't know if it's going to work out for everybody, but I'm going to work my butt off so that at least I can control a little bit of my own destiny. I can at least
Yep.
control how I react to the situation, whichever road we go down, I'll be ready. And I think that's just having a growth mindset and just being ready for whatever scenario throws at us and be like, let's go either way. But that's not it. I think that's a big part of why people are optimistic, is they're just having that kind of a mindset into it. But I think there's other things in it. I think other people are also just doing a good job of staying on top of this AI stuff. So that's the second thing. I think you have to get good at vetting through the news. And I think there's 3 ways to do that. I think the thing I like to do is just establish a baseline of what AI can do. How are you using it? What can it do? What can it do? Kind of establish, get comfortable with it, establish that baseline of what you know it's capable of, test things, and then have a balanced mindset of being curious and highly skeptical.
Yeah.
You can't be one or the other. It has to be both. Anytime you hear new news, like when Microsoft released that report, that doesn't mean people are losing their jobs and like crazy right now. That's just a hypothesis. That's just based on these factors, we rank stacked 1,000 jobs and these ones came up at the top of the list. Well, it doesn't mean that they're going to lose their jobs. That's just a guess based on a silly report.
And because our audience is in the topper echelon of intelligence, people know that fear sells. We've seen it across time and history that if you can get them to fear, you can start controlling their minds and then their wallets, all that stuff. I mean, we've seen it over and over again. So if you can have that skeptical view of the news constantly, I mean, everyone knows it.
Yeah.
Watching the news causes like more depression than just going for a walk, because positive stories people don't want to know about. They want to hear about the scandal, the worry, the doubt.
The masses want to hear
the
hard
destruction. They want to hear about the negative stuff, which
our brains are triggered to react to that.
So you just have to know, being skeptical is a great way to think about it when you hear about AI taking over jobs and things.
But be curious, lean into it, watch it. Sure. But don't be surprised when Microsoft and Salesforce are putting out these crazy PR pieces. Salesforce is like, oh, we're automating 30% of our jobs now. I'm like, yeah, and you also want to sell a lot more Salesforce subscriptions to make people think they can do it too. I don't. Yeah, 30% of their jobs, stupid. But and the last one around having just being good at vetting the news as it comes in, since there's so much hype, is to find good sources, people you trust, and then just take it from them. You don't have to be the front line. I'm not even the front line. I'm like a second tier person. I have a few sources I go to help me think through it, like Matt Wolf and the Artificial Intelligence podcast with Paul Reitzer and Mike Kaput. Those are kind of like my 2 main sources. I have a few other ones that I get to. I consider myself second tier. I'm the one who comes in, takes the leading headlines, and then curates it down and experiments and throws out, like, I'm a week or 2 behind the headline sometimes because I'm trying to distill it down and make it useful just for marketers, and that's it. So find a few trusted sources. The 2 shows I just mentioned, one's a YouTube channel, one's a podcast, but this show is one for many of you. But find a few trusted sources, lean into what they say. And then the last thing I think people are doing is they're just spending time with AI. So when they see misleading headlines, they're like, yeah, well, that's crap, because I'm in AI regularly and it's not even close to what my experience is. So if you're just experimenting all the time, I highly recommend experimenting with like daily life problems on top of work problems. I don't know why, but it makes me feel so much more confident because there's so many different areas of life that it can touch. And as you build more familiarity with all these different ways to use it, it like helps with work. I don't know. Have you found that too?
I have used it for my personal life just as much as work life. I mean, it's just another tool extension. It's the Swiss Army knife of my phone that I need help with something. I'm pulling it out and asking questions. I mean, I've used it recently to look up tax for different loans because I'm into real estate. So I want to buy another house. There's something called a DSCR loan where you don't have to prove your income. And I needed the details on it, and instantly it's pulling it up for me. I don't have to watch YouTube videos. I don't have to figure things out. It's like, okay, this is what I needed to know. So I constantly use it in my daily life, and that just makes me feel, more confident.
It's like having an expert in every field imaginable.
Uh-huh.
You can call or text 24/7, 365. Like the more I keep finding new old areas of my life that I was like, oh, I always wanted to do X, but I gave up on it because I couldn't afford
Right.
someone to help me with it.
Right.
Like personal trainer. Personal trainers cost a lot of money to help you tailor your workouts for your exact schedule, your goals, your blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. You can watch YouTube videos, but you have to watch a freaking ton of them in order
Yes.
to find all the little tiny nuances that fit your situation.
And we get to skip all those intros. Hey, welcome back to another episode. My name's John Boo Boo. I'm going to be talking about this thing today. If you looked at my last episode, I'm like, oh my God, just stop with the intro.
I'm going to have to watch 20 videos just to get a small piece of the puzzle that I can then take forward. And I'm like, I'm a learner, so I would do it, but I didn't do it for
It was
everything.
the best
I do it for
resource at the
marketing.
time. I mean, sometimes I still need YouTube sometimes to
Oh,
walk
yeah.
me through a visual process.
Yeah, because it's a visual thing. You need someone to
Yeah.
show you doing the thing,
change
right?
the catalytic converter on an '04 Mini. It's like, okay, listen, you know what I'm sad we haven't talked about on here, which maybe this will be another episode, is how we have liked or disliked ChatGPT 5 compared to all the other models that we'd have to select through. I don't know. It's just become a more fluid experience just using ChatGPT 5, but
I'm so glad you said that because it's pretty much what I said. Go. You probably haven't listened to last week's episode.
No, I
had to
didn't.
leave you out because I had to record it so early in the morning before a full day video shoot.
Oh, you already talked about it.
But I talked about it. Well, go watch my hot take, and we'll put that into next week's segment.
Great.
About ChatGPT 5. I love ChatGPT 5. A lot of the world hates ChatGPT 5, and all you people, except for the people that are experiencing true bugs, I get it. That sucks. But for everybody else, I'm like, sorry, not sorry. It's better.
It is better. I've also experienced some bugs that are like so annoying to me.
But I'm confident they'll smooth those out. It'll be great. The switcher will get better over time. I'm like, it's going to be amazing. It needed to happen. And then, so experiment a lot with ChatGPT specifically across your life. You'll become more comfortable with it. You'll be less scared of it the more you use it, leverage it, kind of push it to the limits, throw curveballs at it to see what happens. Don't always trust it, but in general, it's pretty good. Have more experiences with it. You will become more comfortable with it and gain a level of expertise just from sheer time experimenting with it. And then learn how to build custom GPTs. I'll say it over and over. This is the drum I'm beating and will continue beating. Just go search my show for any title of custom GPTs and watch it because it's like the best thing you can do to level up from there. And the last piece of advice I have for you to master AI is whatever tool you currently use a lot, whatever they're all building AI parts of those tools. Right. Master the AI parts of it. Are you spending a lot of time in HubSpot? Great. Master every AI component that you have access to. Are you spending a lot of time in Asana? Master every AI component built into it. These tools are AI rich now. Like, what tool are you using? What AI features are they adding? Become the master of that tool. So just between experimenting broadly, building custom GPTs, and mastering the little AI tools built into whatever tools you have, you are freaking golden. Okay, it's not that hard. You can do it. Just take the time. And the last thing to wrap up this episode, I found this awesome post. It was this viral post on X, and it was essentially like this wonderful little thing where people are essentially making these multimedia kids books, or at least now you can build that. And I've published a few kids books, so I'm really excited about this. But they're like, Google Gemini actually has the ability, you can prompt it to build me a storybook about any topic, and it'll illustrate it on the left side, write the stuff on the right side, and people are taking the illustrations, running it through Grok Video, which is free right now, and then illustrating the whole thing and then putting them back into it. So you essentially can make these
video
like 4-second animated children's books, and they are freaking amazing. You're like, whoa, that's really cool. That's even better than a normal kid's book. So now I want to start, because I wanted to make this book about AI for kids, because I've made a few other kids books about marketing and about audience growth. I want to make one about AI, but just haven't finished it. So I think I'm going to do it this way. I think I'm going to put out a virtual one and animate it. I don't know if I'll do it with Grok. I might do it with Midjourney, but we'll see.
I know you don't know anything about this, but because I have ADHD and I open to this thing, it's so hard to read the short paragraph when the visuals are moving on the left side. It's like I can't, my brain will not let me focus on those words when there's an animated, moving little show happening next to me. It's like I off. Okay, no, I can't even get past like 3 words.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.